Hey, what's up, fellow model train enthusiasts? This is Lone Wolf 777, broadcasting from his home in California today. I got a bit of a special for you all today, and it's a review of this locomotive right here where my finger's pointing, the FP45, number 5942. And the reason why I got this locomotive right beside it is because I'm going to give you an aerial view right now of how big each locomotive is. Okay, so this one's more smaller than the FP45. The FP45 had a steam generator unit back here, but when the 5942 was renumbered and repainted into their freight bonnet scheme, it lost the steam generator unit because Santa Fe lost its passenger services to Amtrak, because Amtrak took over all of the major railroads' passenger trains when Amtrak was brought into power to take over passenger services of all railroads back then in the 1970s and 1971. So anyways, it was sad to see that happen, but that's history for you. So anyways, this locomotive was done up in the yellow, blue bonnet, freight bonnet locomotive paint scheme, as you can see. Now, it did retain its Mars or gyro light, whichever you want to call it. I know Santa Fe had a history of using Mars lights instead of gyro lights. Southern Pacific was the biggest one to use gyro lights, from what I remember in the history of the material that I read. So, when I read the history of this particular locomotive, and I saw pictures of the original one, which are, by the way, in this video now, the Mars light was still retained in the freight bonnet paint scheme, but it also gained a beacon light, a strato-light beacon light right here, while also keeping its Mars light. Now the horn color is wrong, but the horn type is right. What I mean by the horn color being wrong is this is not supposed to be yellow, it's supposed to be a Santa Fe blue, like this one, okay? It's supposed to match up with the rest of the locomotive freight bonnet look, blue-wise here, okay? According to the pictures. Now, I want to make sure that I have everybody's complete understanding of what I'm trying to get across here clearly. There are some things wrong with this particular locomotive. For example, the trucks, if the locomotive was going for the whole yellow type look from top to stepwell, which is right here, this is the stepwell, as well as the steps, that would be painted yellow, all the way yellow. And these would be black, which is correct, but then there's the problem of this particular locomotive having the blue right here, okay? Now what I think Atherton was trying to do, because after looking at the photographs for evidence of how this locomotive looked back then, what I think they were trying to go for is when the locomotive had finally got blue stepwells and then silver truck painted trucks, as well as a beacon light up here. Now, I'm going to do what Atherton failed to complete, is basically I'm going to take the truck's decals off, which is this right here. I'm going to paint them silver, okay? And then I'm going to add the beacon light up top and do some other modifications here to make it look right. Because the way I see it, it's just got a few issues, but other than the truck's painted black rather than silver, which is not correct, that can be changed back to silver, and the beacon light can just be added. So it's not that big of an issue, but it is somewhat of an issue if you're a modeler and you're expecting all of these locomotives to look exactly like they did the way they came out and did their duties amongst the railroads. So 5942, out of 200 possible points, I'm going to take a total of 50 off, okay? Because that makes it harder for me, because I have to not only make the Mars light or gyro light up, as well as the number boards, the headlights, truck lights, stepwell lights. I got to add a beacon light, which means more electrical work for me to do. And instead of me having to just install LEDs into the beacon light, which I would have just had to do, now I got to mill a channel out for the beacon light, put a beacon light in, make it look correct, and then just get it all done up right. And then I got to take the trucks off, paint those silver, which is kind of a headache in my personal opinion, but what are you going to do? If you want to make these things look right, go all the way. Now for this one here, this one had a strobe light, okay? It had a working strobe xenon light, as far as I know from the photograph of the only known existence of the 1936 F45 unit. And it was right either next to the horn or a little behind the horn, but next to it still. So I got to add that, mill out a channel, and mill out channels for the LEDs to go into the number boards, headlights, all of that. And it's a headache. I don't like doing that, but if I want to get these looking right, that's what's going to happen. So the FP45 5942 not only just, again, retained its Mars or gyro light, it also contained a beacon light. So now that I got to get that done, that's going to take more time and money to get the right parts, make it look right. But other than that, it's a really sweet looking locomotive. The other thing is, these particular flimsy plastic handrails, I'm going to make those go and replace them with brass parts eventually, but we'll see. The other thing I got to do is basically install PWRS Magnalock air hoses, which I've already started to install on this particular locomotive right here. As you can see, where the rubber hose with a square magnet on the end of it moves up and down so freely, that's a PWRS Magnalock air hose. Now what those do is when they're all connected on a train like this, they'll couple up automatically without me having to do anything about it. So it's going to make it look more realistic. That's the end of the game here, is to make it look more realistic. I got to paint the horn blue. I got to do a lot of things to this locomotive, not only exterior but internally. The motor is good. The circuit board for providing power to the LEDs is not, so I got to rip that out, put a sound decoder in here, get two speakers into these locomotives. So that's going to be a total of buying 4 speakers for these locomotives each, and oh my god, it's going to sound good. Also installing truck lights where the locomotive engineer and crew can just see if the train's moving at night. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge. I've never done that before. As well as adding stepwell lights. There would be one stepwell light here somewhere. There's a specific kind of decal to where it's kind of weird shaped, and it would let you know that there's supposed to be a light right there somewhere. Now, the other thing is this emergency fuel cutoff switch button right here that's black. That needs to be painted red a little bit, because let me show you why. If you can see right there, that's where the emergency fuel cutoff switch button, where you push down and hold it for 30 seconds, cuts fuel and power to the engine. That needs to happen here as well. That's according to FRA regs, which is Federal Railroad Administration regulations. So that's something I got to paint up right, and that's going to be a headache, because I have no idea how I'm going to go about that. I could use a brush, but then it would look crappy. So that's going to be fun. Other than that, it's all good looking. So that just means there's going to be some work to do. The ST75M project is on track. I've ordered new lights and resistors. I ran out of resistors before I can finish the project, so that's now back on track because I ordered a package of, 10 packages of resistors. It's going to be fun to do. Other than that, it's all good. Well, anyways, Lone Wolf 777 signing off. If you got any comments, throw them down in the comment section below. If you like the video, share the video, please. Hit that like button too, or smash the like button. There's the thumbs up, if you will. Okay. Also, if you got any questions about these locomotives or the past of them, please comment down in the comment section below, and I'll try to get back to you as fast as I can. Lone Wolf 777 signing off. Also, subscribe to the channel. Peace out.